Delivery dates, one of the big questions continuing to float around out there right now. We're going to be talking about stimulus checks, Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, and SSI benefits. We have a lot to talk about in this video, so let's get into it right now. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so, make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as information is changing very, very rapidly right now. But I'm here for you each and every day, taking all that information, distilling it all down into these short videos, which I deliver a few times each and every day, so that you can get all of the newest updates each and every day as they're happening right here in the shortest amount of time that I can possibly deliver it to you right here in these videos. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get right into the update. All right, so this is one of the biggest questions that I continue to see down in the comments section on a very regular basis. When are we going to get it? Have you seen that question down below? I know that you probably have, and maybe you've even written that question down below. That's okay. It's a really good question, which is exactly why I want to talk about it and discuss all the details in this video, because so many people are asking this. I want to lay it all out for you right now. However, at the same time, I think a lot of us can also recognize there are a lot of different dates being tossed around out there. In fact, if you've looked around anywhere, if you've ever heard anything, you've probably heard all kinds of different dates being thrown around. Well, as a result of that, each of these dates do represent something completely different, and I want to talk through what each of these dates mean and what they mean in regards to payments going out, right? Very important to understand. So, let's quickly talk about some of the most common dates that I'm seeing, as well as what these dates actually represent, and we'll go in chronological order. In other words, newest or like soonest to latest, right? So let's kind of run through some of these dates right here. So first off, I do want to take just a minute here and talk about Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivors benefits, and of course SSI as well. All right, so will there be a payment coming this coming Wednesday? Yeah, in fact, there will be. However, is it a stimulus check? Which, more on that in just a second, by the way. But for this question, is it a stimulus check, this payment that's coming on Wednesday? No, in fact, it is not a stimulus check, but rather it is the regular monthly benefits for all of these millions of beneficiaries who typically receive their payment on the third Wednesday of the month, is for those people who have a birthday anywhere between the 11th and the 20th of the month. Now, however, one quick side note, I do know that some of you have a birthday some other time throughout the month, and you typically receive your payments on either the 1st or the 3rd of the month. Again, I'll get to that here in just a second, but in general, the vast majority of people who receive Social Security, retirement, SSDI, or survivors benefits receive their benefits during that corresponding time, the Wednesday of the month that corresponds with the window for their birthday. Now, the Wednesday coming up right here is for those individuals who have that birthday landing, like I said, between the 11th and the 20th of the month, otherwise known as the third Wednesday of the month. So, want to lay that out for you, because I know that some of you have been wondering, hey, I heard that payments are coming this Wednesday. Yes, some payments are coming this Wednesday, but it's the regular monthly benefit. It's not a stimulus check this time. However, I do want to talk about that more here in just a second. All right, let's go out to the next date that I've been seeing pop up again. Now, this one is next Wednesday, so a week out from this Wednesday, which would be the 23rd? Yes, the 23rd of next week. So now, again, people are wondering, is this the date that a check is going to be arriving? I've been seeing this date tossed around a little bit. Is this the date in which a check will actually be arriving? Again, this is going to be another date in which those individuals will be receiving their regular monthly payment. However, it's going to be for those individuals receiving Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors benefits, and whose birthday lands anywhere between the 21st and the 31st of the month, otherwise known as the 4th Wednesday of the month. Make sense? I think all of this recognize this payment schedule, but I want to be very clear with this and lay it all out for you so that there's no misunderstanding, so that all of us recognize the payments that are actually coming on these specific dates. It's in regards to the regular monthly benefits that we're all receiving anytime, right? So it's just like our regular benefit that we're always receiving anyway. All right, so let's continue to fast forward here, and I promise I will talk about stimulus checks here in just a second. All right, so the next week out from that is, yes, on Tuesday, the 1st of the month. What does that mean? That means that SSI beneficiaries will be getting their payment. Now, Remember, if you're an SSI beneficiary, your payment arrives on the first of the month. Unless the first of the month happens to land on a weekend, then you get it the Friday before. Even if that happens to be the 31st of the month, the 30th of the month, whatever it happens to be, if the first of the month lands on the weekend, you would generally get your payment on the Friday before. However, this time, the first of the month lands on a Tuesday. Therefore, SSI beneficiaries, look out. Your card, your bank account, wherever you receive your monthly benefit should be getting your direct deposit that day of your SSI benefit. It could be the $841, or it could be whatever you get as your regular SSI benefit. So if you've already received your benefit for the month, you're not going to get a double payment on these days, but rather these are just the days in which you would regularly get your payment. Now, again, like I said, I do know that some of you get your payment on the 1st, on the 3rd of the month. If you already got your payment for this month, then that's the payment that you will get for your monthly benefit. All right. So I did want to lay this all out for you because I continue to see so many dates being thrown around. I see a lot of dates out there, and I just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page here so there's no misunderstanding, there's no miscommunication, or more like there's no misleading information out there talking about potential stimulus checks arriving these dates. Now, that is not the case. Now, let's talk about a stimulus check and I guess we could say delivery dates. Now, here's where we currently stand with a stimulus check. It is all up in the air right now when it comes to the stimulus package. In fact, we've been talking about the stimulus package a lot lately, right? So we continue to get a lot of information on this, and Congress continues to work their way through the newly revised skinny portion of the Build Back Better agenda. As I mentioned just yesterday alone, we heard that some of these lawmakers are coming out saying, okay, we've got to re-strategize. We need to figure out what to do here going forward with the stimulus package. Let's break it up and let's do it on a bipartisan basis. Now, again, this is their most greatest, newest idea that they're coming out with now. I'm sure the ideals will continue to change because they typically always do, right? But this is the latest idea that they're playing around with as of right now. However, when it comes to a stimulus check, where do we currently stand? Has it been approved? Is there a delivery date in mind? Where do we stand with all this right now? The whole thing is still up in the air right now. There is no defined date for a delivery of a stimulus check as of this time right now. However, before I know it's discouraging. Like, don't get me wrong, it's very discouraging. But at the same time, before we get too discouraged, here's what we can think about as well. As a result of the most recent economic data that's been coming out, there's been a lot of information on the employment data. There's been information on inflation data. There's been information on lawmakers and people with high influence talking about many millions of Americans struggling right now. There's been the talk about the Senior Citizens League petition calling on a stimulus check. There's been a lot of talk about this. In fact, there has been discussion and there's been a lot of resurfacing of information discussing sending out a focused stimulus check on those individuals receiving monthly benefits, like I just said, Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA benefits. So, even at this time, when nothing has technically been approved yet, or delivery dates have not been identified, or delivery dates haven't been identified, is basically what I'm trying to say. So now that this is still a thing right now, however, we have to recognize at the same time, it's not like the most discouraging thing in the world, simply because of all the data that we've been seeing coming out lately. It's actually pointing toward the building case for this focused check for all of these individuals receiving these monthly benefits. Does that make sense? So I've been hearing more about this lately. I've been reading more about this lately. In fact, just a couple days ago, last week, I was out with a video and I had my wife come in, Corey, and she read that article to you of one of the most recent reports that I saw at that time. That was about a week ago already. At that time, of more talk about the strength behind that petition from the Senior Citizens League calling on a one-time fourth stimulus check for all of these beneficiaries who need that check so badly right now because of inflation digging away at their monthly benefits, right? So that was just one of the reports that I saw out there right now. So it is encouraging to see that this talk has continued to move on as it comes to all of these monthly beneficiaries and a potential fourth stimulus check. So even though the delivery date has not been identified, again, I just want you to know that Nothing is guaranteed at this point. Something could be approved at any given point, something could be identified, but at the same time, on the other hand, to be completely fair, at the same time, something may never come. We don't know that yet. That's why Congress is still working on something very, very slowly. They're talking about how they want to approach this next stimulus package. They're talking about how they want to break up the provisions and what they want to do for the most struggling low-income Americans right now, which we've talked about a lot in previous videos. So, anyway, for all the dates that continue to be tossed around out there right now, I hope this kind of helps lay it out a little bit more clearly. At this time, when it comes to monthly benefits, yes, the monthly benefits will continue to go out on a regular monthly basis, just like they always have been. No change there. So you will continue to get your monthly benefits, no change. So I want to lay that out for you because all these dates continue to pop up. I continue to see them myself, and I want to make it very clear what these actually mean. However, when it comes to a delivery date for stimulus checks, nothing has been identified quite yet. But it is encouraging to see lawmakers and these reports coming out discussing that Americans are struggling right now, especially the low income and the fixed income, and there may be a resolution for that. In other words, payments. Make sure, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, I hope that makes sense for you. Anyway, I hope this clears it up for some of you that are asking, when will it arrive? I hope this kind of clears it up a little bit more clearly for you. But again, I'm watching everything closely. I'll continue to watch everything very closely, and I'll continue to be here for you every single day with all the latest updates as we get that information. So please enjoy your day. I'll be back a little bit later with some more information and the latest details that are coming out as of right now. And I will continue watching everything very, very closely as it pertains to stimulus packages, stimulus checks, payments, monthly payments, UBI, GBI, anything else like this, anything we can possibly get our hands on, I will continue to be here for you, breaking it down in this video and doing whatever I possibly can to help you out navigate this very confusing time. So again, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other 2,100 plus videos right here on the channel. Enjoy, and I'll catch you again later in the next update, and I hope this one helps.